What's the most unforgivable thing a prison guard ever did? Officer Jones looked at me like I was garbage from day one. I was 3 years into my sentence, assigned to kitchen detail, keeping my head down and staying out of trouble. Jones treated every inmate like a lying piece of trash, but he had a special hatred for me. What he didn't know was that before my conviction, I had spent 12 years as a cardiac surgeon. That Tuesday morning, when the chest pain hit me like a sledgehammer, I knew exactly what was happening to my body. The crushing pain spread across my chest while I was lifting a pot of oatmeal. I dropped it immediately, gasping as my left arm went numb. I approached Jones, who was scrolling his phone against the wall, and told him I needed medical attention for chest pain. He didn't even look up, dismissing me as just another con trying to scam my way out of work. I maintained my composure, though my medical training was screaming that I was in the early stages of a heart attack. When I insisted these symptoms were serious, he called me a pathetic liar and threatened to dock my commissary. The situation deteriorated rapidly. By breakfast service, sweat was pouring down my face despite the cold kitchen. My hands were shaking as I served oatmeal to the line of inmates. Jones walked over, smirking about how I was sweating like a pig and mocking me as too soft for kitchen work. The other inmates could see I was in distress, but when Luke whispered that I didn't look good, Jones caught the interaction and started making crude jokes about inmates getting sympathy from their boyfriends. The pain was intensifying by the minute. I could barely stand straight and my vision was starting to blur. When I approached Jones again, desperately explaining I was having a heart attack, his face twisted with disgust. He launched into a tirade about how I was worthless garbage trying to scam my way out of work, then threatened to throw me in solitary for a month if I mentioned medical care again. The threat of the whole made me step back, knowing I had to endure this somehow. During lunch prep, I had to lean against the counter to stay upright. Jones noticed and called out to the other guards, pointing me out as an example of how cons will do anything to avoid honest labor. The other guards laughed while my chest felt like it was being crushed in a vice. When I tried once more, my voice barely a whisper, begging him to understand something was seriously wrong, he exploded with rage. He told me I was just another lying criminal who thought he was smarter than everyone else, betting I hadn't even graduated high school before ending up with the rest of the trash. Jones was enjoying this power trip. During lunch service, when I finally collapsed from the intensity of the pain, he stood over me calling it a performance worthy of an Oscar. Then he pulled out his phone and started recording, announcing he was capturing this pathetic con trying to fake a heart attack for his group chat. As I lay on the floor, barely conscious, he delivered his final insult about how I thought I was special and deserved better than this place. But I was just another worthless criminal who would die forgotten. Everything changed when Officer Williams rushed in, took one look at me and immediately called for medical. As the medics worked on me, one of them looked at my chart and recognized the name. He looked up with shock, telling everyone that this was Dr. Jonathan, the cardiac surgeon who had operated on his father 5 years ago. Jones's phone dropped from his hand as the medic explained that I had saved hundreds of lives before my conviction and literally wrote the textbook on emergency cardiac care. When the medic asked how long I had been showing symptoms, Luke confirmed it had been 2 hours of me begging for help. The aftermath was devastating. I spent 2 weeks in intensive care, and the delayed treatment caused permanent brain damage from oxygen deprivation. My surgical career was already over before prison, but now my ability to think clearly was gone forever. During the lawsuit, my medical credentials came out, and the judge learned that Jones had ignored a trained cardiac surgeon's pleas for help during an actual heart attack. Jones was terminated, lost his pension, and faced criminal charges for negligent endangerment. The prison system paid a 7-figure settlement, but no amount of money could restore what I had lost. I'm in a group home now, struggling to remember basic words. Sometimes I catch glimpses of my old medical knowledge, but it's like trying to hold water in my hands. Jones destroyed the brain that once saved lives, all because he assumed a convict couldn't possibly know more than him. That's the most unforgivable thing a prison guard ever did.